Even though we, together with the team, had decided not to battle too much, but I still decided to go for a move here anyway, basically ignoring my team's orders. Hey guys, what's up? RedExions here and welcome back to this brand new video. And today we are at Kart Center Emsbüren in Germany for round 3 of the Dutch Tillotson T4 series. We are here at this Mickey Mouse track for yet another race. Like you have seen in the previous race, we can no longer win the tickets to the World Championship, but the actual championship itself is still anyone's game. So of course we're going to try to get the best possible result here. I've never driven this track before. We had the first session in I don't know when. Anyways, I hope it all goes well. See you guys on track. Welcome back to the Tillotson T4 Series Netherlands, this time at Emsbüren in Germany. We are here to fight for the Dutch T4 Championship and of course that tickets to the World Championship in Valencia. Unfortunately, due to some insane bad luck in previous races, it is no longer possible to win that ticket. But the Dutch Championship has a different scoring system, so that title is still possible. And I am going to give it my absolute all to go for that title. So what about this track? I had personally never been here before, which means most of you will not have heard about this track. So let me take you on a hot lap of this small but really fun track. Going across the line, we immediately dive into a downward flat out right-hander. Take the curb on the left to open up turn 2, a right-hander with a late apex and a great overtaking spot. Get the kart back over to the right for the left-hander of turn 3, which is just about flat. Be careful not to use too much curb on exit, as this throws you off for turn 4. The slowest corner of the track and another great overtaking spot. On the exit you want to get the kart to the left to open up the next right-handers of turns 5, 6, 7 and 8. Turn 8 is almost flat, turn 9 is definitely not and immediately flows into the last sector. Ideally you want to get on the power immediately after turn 9 and get an as smooth as possible run through the last 2 corners, which spits you back out to the start-finish straight to do it all over again here in Emsbüren. So this is by far the most technical and claustrophobic track of the season, and I'm happy you guys are with me to experience it all through my POV. Thanks a lot to everyone who has subscribed and to the new channel members, this would not have been possible without you. If you're new here, welcome and please consider subscribing if you want to see more of these videos. And maybe you'll be part of the journey of a future champion. But where were we? We get used to the track more and more throughout this session. I am lucky that I have the ability to adjust to new circumstances quickly. I really like the flow and technical nature of this track, and after a small tire pressure tweak, we were pretty fast for our first session. Once again it was a really close battle with my girlfriend Wietske. I overtook her here because at this point I was a little bit faster. But a few laps later I let her pass again and I now had a lot more trouble in catching back up. We had a little bit of trouble finding the correct tire pressures for this track. We tried everything but the kart didn't feel much better. Tire pressure is probably the most important variable in kart setup, so that is why we often spend most time on that. We did however improve our lap time in the next session to a 39.5, which is about 2 to 3 tenths of the pace. Wietske was once again very rapid during Friday practice, which is a recurring theme this year. But no worries, we still have time to find more pace. By the way, look at this absolute violation of an overtake. Was that dirty? Let me know. What happened in the next session is by far the craziest case of track evolution I have experienced in my 13 years in karting. It had started raining very slightly. You can't even see the water on track or on the camera. But the amount of grip that was lost because of this was absolutely insane. Just take a look for yourself. Like I said, this is something I have never experienced before. Usually in conditions like this I am quite fast because I am aggressive and can warm up the tires better than most drivers. This time however the grip was so low that a more cautious driving style was faster. You can see clearly that Wietske is a lot more cautious, which allows her to slide a lot less and get better traction. She brakes earlier, has the kart rotated on the curb earlier and therefore she can get on the power earlier, which in this case is a lot faster. It took me a few corners to realize that I was over pushing and taking some wrong lines, and after that we started gaining back the lost time. Curbs can be a vital tool for lap time in the wet, but your chassis doesn't always like it, just listen to this. Anyways, we were able to overtake her back and this time we pulled away. Also guys, believe it or not, but this is what the track looked like only 5 laps later. Completely dry. I have never had a track evolve this fast. Now that it was dry again, we could focus on the dry pace. We are now able to closely follow Wietske, but we are not quite fast enough to overtake yet. However, what happened next is a perfect example of why sometimes it is better to hang back and wait in heavy traffic. Wietske tries to overtake this guy here, but they make contact and slow down a lot. The 322 wanted to follow Wietske through and was really close to them. But by being so close, he had to avoid the accident and go wide. I on the other hand hung back a bit, and that meant I could take a narrow line and overtake all 3 of them. Nice one. So at the end of the day, we were very stable with our pace. My girlfriend and I were pretty much equal on pace again, which has happened nearly every Friday now. I felt like we were especially strong in the first sector, and Wietske was strong in the last sector. It's funny to see the difference between our driving styles and the fact that in the end of the day we almost had the exact same lap time. We were however still a little bit slower than the fastest guys. Let's ride on board for a full hot lap to end this day. Alright guys, that was the day. Yeah, I think we ended it on a pretty good note there. I think we were short by about 2/10, which is, yeah, it's too much, but it's less than I expected. Of course, it's only our first day here. The fastest guy has been doing some testing here. That's no excuse, of course, but I think it was okay. Also, we are still running our bad sandbag engine, so that should give us a little bit more time as well. Not sure how much it will be around here though. Kerpen, where the last race was, of course, is a little bit more of a power track. The engine made a bigger difference there than it will here, I think. One thing that we have to work on is our consistency, because usually our consistency is quite good, but now it was just all over the place, I don't know why.
This thing is pretty much clean, ready. We do need to have an oil service for the engine though. Ignore that mess over there. And then yeah, tomorrow we'll also be running the sandbag engine, so we won't know how fast we are until Sunday, I think. But hey, that's part of the mind games of karting.
This is finished. We'll go to the hotel and get some sleep, because I am really tired, because I had to leave really early this morning.
Here we can see where I am very slow.
Or very fast.
Alright guys, back in the hotel now. Yeah, we already had food and we're pretty much ready to go to bed now. Pretty happy about the day. I think it's okay for a first day of the new track. And yeah, tomorrow we have 4 more sessions to improve. The day tomorrow is a little bit weird. We're starting very late and has to do with the regulations of noise at the track. Too difficult to explain in only a few seconds, so tomorrow just a weird day. Just take it from me. Did it go good for you as well?
Ja, ging goed doen.
So yeah, 4 more sessions tomorrow. Let's see if we can improve a little bit more. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Alright guys, good morning. Welcome back to the track. It is now Saturday. Time for more free practice, and the 2-stroke karts already have their races today, so that's what you're hearing in the background. It has rained a bit this night, so the track's a little bit damp, I think. But yeah, that shouldn't hold us back from testing today. So yeah, let's watch some races. Yeah. Guys, I have a surprise for you. Because I didn't have a suit yet for the sponsors of this year, I have one now. Look guys, what do you think of it? Sponsor who sponsored the suit. K Racing, you know them of course. And on my arm here, my dad's company, Delivered Media, Vachttechniek and JVD Power. Looking fresh for this year. Can't wait to wear this thing in Rotax, because it looks kind of weird when I wear it in Tillotson, but that doesn't matter. Maybe Tillotson wants to sponsor me a suit for Tillotson as well. That's a hint, by the way.
We're still waiting until we can go out on track.
Alrighty guys, welcome back to day 2. Unfortunately there was a big crash in one of the Rotax races, which caused today's timetable to get messed up, which resulted in us only having 3 sessions. All of the clips you saw of today with me just vlogging around the paddock is really just how the day went. We just sat around and did nothing. That meant we had plenty of time to clean the kart and organize our workspace. And for that, Benadu Racing has some great products. Check out this axle cleaning tool for example. Now you can finally get rid of that old scrub wheel and use an actual tool for the job. And when you take off your engine, you can now put it in this engine box. These tools are a great addition to your workshop or to your loadout, and in my opinion, good tools and a clean workshop are vital if you want to be prepared for a race in a good enough way. Get them now at beneduracing.com, link in description. Also, if you place an order in the month of July, you can win one of these products in this video for free. I will be giving away some of these things at the next Dutch Tillotson T4 series race, so if you want a chance of winning any of these things, leave a comment and then just come find me at the next Tillotson T4 race, tell me your YouTube username and boom, you won. Anyways, where were we? The first session of the day was pretty weird. The track was really slow, as you can see by the lap times. We were constantly setting lap times above 40 seconds, which is quite slow compared to yesterday, so this session was actually pretty useless. The last session of the day, however, was completely different. The two-stroke karts had put down a ton of rubber on the track and the track was now grippy as hell. So much so that we had to change a lot on the setup of the kart, mainly by removing grip. There was so much grip that the track was actually slower than yesterday. We only managed to say 39.2 at the end. One positive of this, however, was the fact that we were now a little bit close to the fastest driver. I think the pace is once again looking solid for the race day. Speaking of which...
Alright guys, good morning and welcome back to circuit Emsbüren here in Germany. And today it is race day.
That is my mechanic, he's very mature as you can see.
Anyways, yeah, race day. We have one warm-up, then quali, few heats and then the final. There will only be 28 grid slots in the final, so we have to make sure that we get through the heats, which shouldn't be a problem if nothing happens. Without crashing and without the chain coming off, eh? Anyway, it shouldn't be a problem. Rub in our new tires because you have to do that with these things. And then yeah, it's go time, so let's go for it.
Qualifying time. As you guys know, a good qualifying is essential if you want to win a race. And to get a good qualifying, you need good track position in which you have constant slipstream but no traffic which holds you up. And this is the most common strategy if you want to qualify for a karting race. That is why I go out behind Vojens here and hold it around the outside of this guy's attack. Remember, we want constant slipstream, so the driver directly ahead of us needs to be at least as fast as us. Unlike the last race, I decided to just send it for every single lap in this qualifying session. No more mind games or driving slowly, just maximum attack. And it worked. We were setting fastest lap after fastest lap. You can see that we were much faster than Vojens at this point. We had a perfect track position for most of qualifying in our slipstream, but right now she's just holding us up. We have to make a move if we want to continue setting fastest laps. So I send it up the inside here and we continue our push, giving Vojens our slipstream in the meantime. A few laps later we start closing in on the 386, another strong competitor for this year, but again we catch up pretty quickly. So I knew I was fast and my mechanic was constantly signaling me that I was in P1. So let's see how quali ended for us. Oh yeah, that's frustrating. We were in P1 for basically every lap until the last 3 laps, in which both Vojens and Jorn improved their lap times. Still quite happy with that result, as this is the first qualifying session without any bad luck. For the races, we will be starting around P5 or 6 because quali was done in 2 groups, so let's see what we can do in the heats.
Alright guys, finally a good quali. We managed to secure P3 in group, which overall results in about P6. One thing I didn't do smart though was being in the slipstream first, because Vojens actually set her best time in the last lap. At least we sort of maximized it. We were a little bit too heavy though, so we made some adjustments to the kart. We put on a different engine mount because the new type is quite a bit lighter. We also took off the micron because it doesn't work and saves us a few 100 grams, so that's nice. But I'm in Group C, so I have a little bit of time before I have to go out. But Vojens has pole in our group, and she's starting from pole in the next heat. So we're going to look at that first.
Pole position. senior. Martondes, tweede plek.
Okay guys, little update. P1 has been disqualified, so Wietske is now up to P3, so that's really good for her. Anyways, let's see what we can do. It's a crazy race, crazy race.
Alrighty guys, welcome aboard for the first heat of the day. Group B versus Group C. We are in Group B. We roll onto the tram lines in a single file start due to safety at this track. The flag drops and away we go. We get a really good getaway. We maintain P4 for now. There isn't really a chance to go up the inside here into the first corner because we were of course starting in that single file. But as you guys know, I am always very aggressive on the first lap. And as you can see, we are all over the 347 here. As we can now go for a little move up the inside into one of the best overtaking spots of the track. Moving up into P3, and we actually have some great external shots for this video. One of my main videographer for the weekend has made some awesome external shots. We will also have some shots from the live stream, but we now find ourselves in P3, and let's see if we can catch up to the leading two guys. We once again find ourselves at the front of the field. We had a good qualifying this time, and so far no bad luck. So let's hope that stays away for now and focus on catching up to the guys ahead of us. Going on to lap 2 now, after which we skip ahead a little bit to lap number 5, which we will do right about now. And you can see that we caught up to our teammate Ricardo. We go up the inside, boom, job done. No real issue. But as you can see, P1 is a little bit further up the road, and that's why I signal to the guy behind me now to keep following me and not overtake me. But as you can see, Jorn also overtook the 334, and he is now ahead of us, and he overtakes us back, and I decide not to attack him back because I knew he was a little bit quicker than us, and maybe he could slipstream, what do you call it, tow? Yeah, maybe he could tow us along to the guy in P1, but as you can see in this technical bit where we have been struggling all weekend, he is a little bit faster than us, and we are usually quite strong in the turns 1, 2 and 3. Not this time though, because Jorn is just as fast as us here, apart from this corner where I seem to gain on everyone. But if he is faster in all of the corners and I am faster in one, that's a net loss on our side. So Jorn was a little bit faster than us, and yeah, we just couldn't keep up with him. Skipping ahead to now already the last lap of the race. Nothing much really happened here. That's sometimes what you get when you are at the front. The races can be a little bit boring. We are faster than the guys behind us. We are slower than the guys ahead of us. We were catching up to the 389, the guy in P2 now. But the race was just not long enough for that. So we bring it home in P3, which is the first heat or first race of this year without any bad luck. We also didn't get any penalties, which is nice for a change. No weird mechanical failures. You can see us there by the pace. We are definitely a little bit too slow in terms of our peak performance. We set at 38.9. The guys had it at 38.7. So yeah, we need to find a little bit more one lap pace. But in terms of consistency, I think we did all right there.
You need more than anything a very clear mind to understand exactly when is the moment to be aggressive, when is the moment to be calculated, when is the moment to give everything you have, when is the moment to hold everything you have for another opportunity. That's the difference between winning and losing.
Lads, I did not put that quote in there for nothing. This race, it might seem good on paper, but this is a prime example of things I need to learn. Anyways, 5 red lights are out now, away we go. We have the 311 ahead of us, who is from another team. I try to get past him as fast as I can, because you cannot really depend on non-teammate drivers to work with you. P1 and P2 are both teammates of us, so we had to get clear of the 311 as fast as possible, which is what we did here. We are now in P3, behind Wietske, who is leading the race, and Ricardo, our other teammate, in P2. So it is now a team pit part 1, 2, 3, which is nice, of course. But yeah, we were definitely the fastest 3 cars of the field in this particular heat. Jorn is not in this heat, so yeah, it's us who have to do the big towing for this race, and I really wanted to win. Like I said, or like Senna said in the beginning of this race, you need a very clear mind to understand when exactly you have to attack, when exactly you have to hold back for another opportunity. And that is something I completely forgot about this race. I was so focused on winning. You guys will see. Anyways, you can see that we are quite quick. We are keeping up and even gaining on the top 2 here. Especially going into this section. We are so fast. Look at how much we gained on the 334 there. And I was just looking to get him out of the way as fast as possible. We make a little bit of a mistake there, which allows him to pull away again. But coming onto lap 3 now, yeah, we are just very strong in that first sector. Just take a look at how much we gain into this corner. Then take a look at how much we gain going through turn 2. We are now right on his bumper. Turn 3 is flat, so there's not really an overtaking opportunity, but the next corner is a hairpin. We absolutely send it up the inside. Ricardo defends a little bit. We bang wheels there a little bit, which is very risky. We got a penalty for that in the previous round. This time we seem to be getting away with it though. And now there's only one driver ahead of us. Our girlfriend, Wietske. I keep calling her our girlfriend. Well, she's my girlfriend. Anyway, yeah, we had one more kart ahead of us, and my focus was purely on winning this race no matter what. I was just pushing to get close to her. And in lap 4, going on to lap 5 now, you can see that that's exactly what we did. Again, we are really strong through turn 1. We are really strong through and into turn 2. We are right on the bumper of my girlfriend. Going through turn 3, we decide to go for the move here into the hairpin. But unfortunately, our camera cuts away there, which is just annoying, which is something it does. I can't really do anything about that. Anyways, we overtook her in just a normal overtaking maneuver. No strange things. Just regular overtake. And like you saw in this race, we were quite rapid. And if I was smart enough and not focusing so much on defending my position, which is what I did here, we would have pulled away. Me together and Wietske would have pulled away from the rest of the field. But as you can see, I'm taking a defensive line basically everywhere, and that's just because I am so focused on keeping that P1 and completely forgetting the fact that I'm actually faster than the guys who are behind me. Yeah, you can see me making mistake after mistake, which means that both Wietske and Ricardo were keeping up with us, and that resulted in us getting a poor exit here, Wietske sending it up the inside, Ricardo following her through, and we are now back in down into P3. All of this battling and defending has cost us a bucket load of time to the cars behind, who are now slowly catching us, which is so unnecessary here. Skipping ahead to lap 11 now, we decide to once again go up the inside of my girlfriend Wietske here, back into P2. But like I said, every overtake, every defensive maneuver costs us time. But what is going to cost us even more time is what's going to happen in the next few corners, which is really bad in my opinion, but hey, it happened, nothing we can do about it now. You can see a slower lapped kart ahead of us, and you can see no blue flags whatsoever. There had just been an incident and the marshals were still waving the yellow flag, which meant that they couldn't wave the blue flag, but that also meant that this lapped kart is holding us up enormously, which also means that the entire field has caught up to us. Here you can see on the live stream how much of a gap that we had. We were really the fastest 3 karts of the track, and we definitely pulled away, but here we just get held up so much. And because it was yellow flag, we couldn't overtake him, even if it's a blue flag kart. So now the entire field behind us is right up our bumper. So this just turned from a 3-way battle for the lead into a whole field battle for the lead. Anyways, we have a little look there up the inside going into turn 1, but we send it again up into turn 2, which has been our best overtaking spot of the weekend so far. And here I just had a full blackout again. I really wanted to win this race. I started defending like crazy, not focusing on working together as a team and pulling away. And that's what Senna said, man. Sometimes you need to hold everything you have for another opportunity, and it takes a very clear mind to do that. And at this moment I did not have a clear mind. I was just defending, losing time for all 3 of us basically, which is of course not what you want. Anyways, we have 12 more laps in this race. Now going on to the penultimate lap of the race, we are still defending like hell. Going tight into turn 2, which cost us again a lot of time, which is something I had no idea of when I was out here on track. It actually cost us so much time that right now I did not defend into this corner, and our teammate Ricardo absolutely sends it up the inside, and we lose a position to Wietske as well. We try to hold it over the curb, we hop over the curb, nearly take out our girlfriend there, which is definitely not what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to win this race so badly that I actually bottled it because I was so focused on keeping that P1. I should have pulled away. Here we made another mistake. I definitely was fast enough to pull away, but I absolutely ruined it myself. And I hope this is a great lesson for you guys as well. Here you can see me banging my head in frustration there. I knew I messed it up, and I am the only person to blame for that. Of course, that blue flag situation didn't help, but I definitely had the pace to pull away from both Wietske and Ricardo after it. And I just didn't, because I was so focused on keeping P1. So please guys, do not make the same mistake as me. Do not make the same mistake as me. You could hear me say some Dutch swear words there because I was so frustrated with myself. But yeah, guys, please let this be a lesson for you as well. Sometimes you need to be smart, not just focus on getting P1 all the time. And yeah, we finish in P3 there. Really frustrating, but there's only one real person to blame for that, and that's me. So yeah, why did I do this? In hindsight, I think a possible explanation for it is the fact that this is basically one of the first weekends in my life where I am at the front purely on pace. And I am just not experienced enough in battling at the front of a field, especially not with experienced drivers like Wietske and Ricardo. Like for my whole career, I have had to battle through midfield, in which every position is, yeah, fought over very hard. And yeah, I just have to adjust to the fact that I now have to be smarter when I want to race at the front. So guys, let this be a lesson for you as well. I definitely learned from it. Got a big pep talk from the team. And yeah, lots to improve for the final.
Alright guys, 2 heats done, got P3 twice. First one I just wasn't fast enough, had a little bit of issues with the balance at the rear. I just couldn't place the kart properly where I wanted it to, so I was too slow. So yeah, P3 was okay in the end. Then for the second heat, yeah, we cooked that. So yeah, I think the next thing for me to learn is to be at the front. Of course, yeah, I haven't really won that much yet. So yeah, being strategic at the front is something that I have to learn. But yeah, the last race was a pretty good lesson in that. Also, in the middle of the race I defended a little bit too much, which allowed the other guys to catch up, which is not smart. But I also didn't really know I was doing that. I was just so focused on winning that race that we actually gave it away. So yeah, that's an improving point for us. Anyways, the final is due in about, I don't know, half an hour. I don't know my grip position yet. We'll probably find that out when we are on the grid itself. So yeah, I'll see you guys there.
Alright guys, welcome back aboard. Time for the final. Once again starting in P4. Our teammate Jorn is in P1, teammate Ricardo in P2, teammate my girlfriend in P3 and us in P4. So we are currently at pit part 1, 2, 3, 4 and I believe even 5 and 6. Anyways, flag drops and away we go. We once again get a really good getaway and this time I learned my lesson. I really had to think tactically about the overtake, so I decided not to overtake anyone unless I was absolutely certain that I could overtake them cleanly and then pull away. So that's why I decided to hang back a little bit for the first lap, which is something that really goes against my nature. I really want to take every opportunity that I get, but here I decided to not do it. But you can also immediately see that Wietske is kind of already struggling with keeping up with the field. Both Jorn and Ricardo have pulled away here, and I was just kind of hoping Wietske would speed up towards the end of the lap. But she didn't, so I was basically already thinking of making a move on her as soon as possible. Even though we, together with the team, had decided not to battle too much, but I still decided to go for a move here anyway, basically ignoring my team's orders. But I point forward to her saying, come on, follow me, try to use my slipstream to catch back up to the front two guys. And I feel like that was the correct decision to make at this point, even though it basically went against our team orders. But here, you can also see that we are way faster than Ricardo, going on to lap 4 now. We catch back up to him. He again has a poor run to turn 1 and we again send it up the inside, going into turn 2. So we are now up into P2, pointing ahead towards P1, signaling to the drivers behind me, let's follow me and let's go for that P1. Here I make a little bit of a mistake, which is of course not what you want when you want to catch up to the guy ahead. Especially when you're dealing with a quick driver like Jorn, who was really on another level in terms of pace this weekend. Yeah, he, like you saw in the previous heats, he was like 1 or 2 tenths a lap quicker than basically any of our teammates. So it was a really difficult mission for us to catch back up to him. But hey, nothing is impossible. Maybe if we work together, T4 Nations Cup style, we can catch back up to him. But here you can see that Ricardo definitely sped up a little bit. He was now able to keep up with us and he actually re-overtook us here. And at this point I knew, okay, P1 is gone, he's just too fast for us. Let's see if we can fight for this P2. And at this moment it makes a lot more sense to actually fight for that position. We decide to hang back a little bit for about 3 laps, just waiting for the perfect moment. You can see that Ricardo here is struggling, he was feeling the pressure from us. And he's kind of making some mistakes, so we decide to send it up the inside here, going into the hairpin, no contact this time, clean move. I signal again to him to follow me and maybe we can pull away from the train behind us, because there was actually quite a big train behind us, most of which are our other teammates. Here you can see on the live stream that afterwards we actually were able to pull away together with Ricardo from the rest of the field behind us. And at this moment we were a pit part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first 7 cards were all of our team. And you can definitely see that we managed to pull away here a little bit. So even though P1 was in a completely different league, this time we learned from our mistake in the previous heat, improved our racecraft, made smart decisions in terms of our overtakes. And yeah, I feel like all of the overtakes were calculated, planned and executed at the perfect time. And like you no, I messed up my speech, but anyway, as you can see, this time I kept my head calm, I kept my head clear, I picked the right moment to be aggressive, I picked the right moments to hold back, and that resulted in us being able to pull away from P3 behind us. We might not take the win here, but I absolutely do not care. We improved as a driver, finishing in P2, taking home some great points for the championship, and this basically almost felt as good as a win. So yeah, even though it's not P1, I am still very happy with how the weekend went. We were pretty fast, we definitely learned a lot again, which is definitely the most important thing to take away from this weekend. No bad luck, which is also a welcome change. And also we secured some great points for the championship.
Alright guys, and with the final out of the way, I think we are in P3, might be P2, not sure yet. I think Ricardo was the guy who finished 1 place behind me in the final. I think he has 1 more point because he won one of the heats. Yeah, we'll find out in a few minutes, but hey. Finally a weekend without bad luck. Yeah, it just shows that when we don't have bad luck we can definitely compete for podiums. Win was definitely out of reach this time. Jorn was just too quick for us. He just pulled away from the field. I think he won by like 4 or 5 seconds, which is quite impressive. Well guys, one thing you haven't seen yet this year, prize giving. We're going there now because we have a trophy!
Alright guys, what a weekend once again. So we were definitely fast, not quite fast enough for P1 unfortunately, but we did make great inroads on the top 5 in the championship. We are now in P6 as things stand right now, and the championship is basically still anyone's game. Our teammate Jorn is definitely in P1 by a solid margin, followed closely by Wietske. So for the next race in Emmen, the top 3 will all receive their tickets to the T4 Nations Cup. And as things look right now, it will be Jorn, Wietske and the guy in P3, who I don't know. So if nothing crazy happens in Emmen, Wietske will get the 2nd place ticket to the Nations Cup, which is basically a €1,000 discount code to the Nations Cup. I really hope she can win it. She has been really consistent so far this year. And I think the Nations Cup will be a great end to her very long karting career. Anyways, for us as P3 in the end, the results from the heats are also counted, so it's not just the final that counts towards the podium, which is a little bit of a shame. And also, the team has done great business for the Constructors' Championship because we took home positions 1 through 7, which is absolutely insane. This championship's not over. Don't count me out just yet. I made a mistake, I learned from it, and I improved on it. And I hope that with this video, you guys also learn from it. And with that great motivational quote out of the way, it's time to end this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons, you know you really help me when you do that. We are getting closer and closer to 40,000 subscribers and I hope we can hit 50k at the end of this year. So in the previous video, we got asked by tire manufacturer Maxxis to test their official tires for the FIA Karting Championships. And we were lucky enough to test a really super fast kart, the OK Senior. That's the fastest kart I've ever driven, so definitely go check out the video, it's on screen right here. This video however is done and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.